Let me watch Juventus. Maybe they'll surprise me. Maybe we'll play differently. Maybe we'll win. Maybe we'll play so amazingly. Yeah, I should have taken the nap because now I'm depressed and tired. Allegri has not changed. Nothing has changed. This Juventus side has not changed. This team lacks any sort of mentality. Miserable times ahead, boys. Miserable times ahead. That game against Benfica right there felt like a game out of Pirlo's season. I'm having flashbacks to the last time I was making videos because it was just so miserable. The team, there's just like no drive. This team, it doesn't feel like they care. And it's like Juventus only played in the first 15 minutes. We played great. Milik scored in the 4th minute. Great free kick from Paredes. Milik is clutch right now. Milik is on fire. Milik needs to play. That's it. He's the only one who's scoring right now, so he needs to play. But like every other game, Juventus, you cannot just play a game for 15 minutes. You cannot just play a game for 15 minutes. So far, we've only had 2 wins this whole season. And in 2 games in the Champions League, we've lost both of them. This is not a good look. This is not a good start to the season. What's very concerning is in preseason, we played exactly the same, if not worse. Yes, there's so many injuries. This team is playing like garbage. We are not playing well. So you can use the injury excuse for a while. You can ride that excuse. Yes, Allegri doesn't have his best players available, but with the players he does have, it still looks bad. It's just getting frustrating because we know what to expect. Juventus is always going to play the same way now. We play for a little bit and then we concede possession. The only game this season that we played very well was against Roma. We played better against PSG than we did today against Benfica. And Benfica was probably the harder of the 2 games. You knew there was going to be space with PSG. You knew Benfica was going to be tougher because you're fighting Benfica directly for the 2nd spot in the group. So it's a direct head-to-head. You need to win the games, and now we lost the first one already. And we have no points. We're going to end up in Europa League at this rate. There's no point in talking about the game anymore because the games have gotten to the point that they're just repeats of one another. They're so predictable, the pattern of play, everything. Prior to the game, I predicted that Juventus were going to lose 3-1, and we probably should have lost like 4-1. We just stopped playing at the second half. Cuadrado was terrible. Bonucci was terrible. McKennie terrible. It's just, this team doesn't care. So many players were putting their heads down on different plays. At the end, when Bonucci just carried the ball, spun around, passed it to the left, he just walked with his head down and didn't make himself available. Instead of taking the ball forward to make the play, he passed it to the left. Bonucci is one of the problems. You can blame the coach, and Allegri is at fault for a lot of it, but it's the mentality of these players. And when you have Bonucci as your captain, that already speaks for itself. When Cuadrado is the vice captain, that's another issue. You have those 2 players that arguably have been the 2 worst players this season. They're your captains and your vice captain. You see their mentality on the field. You're gonna need more than just a coaching change to change this team around. You bring in a new coach, the players are the same. You had Pirlo, you had Sarri, and you have Allegri. The main core of players are still there. We have a very big difference now compared to when Sarri was in charge. But the mentality is still the same. The players put their heads down and they run, and they don't do anything. They don't make themselves available. Nobody wants to take the ball forward. Today, at times, I saw Paredes do it. Kostic does it. I can't even focus on anything positive because imply there was a positive would imply that this team is making some kind of progress, that this team did something good. This team did not do anything. Can't play for 15 minutes and that's it. I'm not going to praise 15 minutes worth of play when the game is played for 90 minutes. And I'm not saying Juventus just sat back after 15 minutes, but the way the game progressed, you could tell Benfica was going to end up with the possession and Benfica was going to one that was going to keep attacking. And unfortunately, things just have not been going our way. And Vlahovic's goal was given offsides because of Deschilio. So you can only do so much. You know, we should have won against Salernitana and this should have been a draw in another circumstance. It's always easy to speak about hypotheticals, but this team is frustrating. It is so frustrating. The approach is frustrating. These lineups are frustrating. I'm tired of these weird makeshift McKennie as a right mid. You can say whatever. He's playing in the half spaces. He's not playing as a right mid. He's playing whatever. It's just like between the injuries and the lack of improvement seen in this team, it's just very concerned because the season is still young. There's been no improvement since last season. So what has exactly been happening? So now we start going into the third match and we have 0 points. So according to Allegri, it's always going to be you need 10 points to win second place. So we have 0. So now we need 3 wins and a draw. But hey, we can go to Monza. We can see Landucci be the coach. Maybe Landucci ball will make appearance. We might win 4-3 against Monza. I'm frustrated. I can't make a positive I can't draw anything from this match. Assume that we played well, because like I said, 15 minutes it's 15 minutes of the game. The game is 90 minutes long.